Now, Joy, we talked a lot about this, so I want to get your instant reaction. Jeff Saturday, no coaching experience, hired to the Colts. What are your thoughts?
I had to double check it, actually. I thought, because you sent it on the group chat, I thought you might have got. Right. Like, hold on. I don't see no blue check. I know they're switching those things around now. Yep. We're going to have to double check our sources, because this is really crazy. I love a good unqualified man hire. Woo!
You love it?
I love it. I love it. Here's why I love it. I mean, obviously, I'm being sarcastic. I don't love it. This is embarrassing. And it's not really me coming at Jeff Saturday. I know a lot of people that know him. He's a nice man.
Good guy.
Certainly a lot of great contributions to the organization. But we're talking about things bigger than a nice person getting an opportunity. An opportunity that he is completely unqualified for.
Right.
Completely unqualified for. And I don't want to hear about the playing. Coaching is an experience that you have to have experience for.
Right.
And we undermine it constantly by these hires. And what bothers me about this hire is not just that he particularly is unqualified. When you have Gus Bradley on the coaching staff with 33 years of coaching experience, 4 seasons as a head coach. John Fox, 40 years of coaching experience, 16 seasons as a head coach, 20 years combined. As you said? Yeah. That's a lot of experience if you were just going to make a change from Frank Reich, who I also think is a good coach. And by the way, I don't think should have been fired.
Right.
I think you should have waited till the end of the season. But if you're going to make this move, do it because you want to build on what you already have. You're not like getting ahead of the race for the next great head coach because the Panthers already fired Matt Rule. So what really bothers me is every time these unqualified, wildly unqualified hires happen, nobody wants to give it the attention that it deserves when we're talking about black head coaches.
That's right.
You have no experience, none, zero, none, no experience in college or professionally coaching on any level, not as a coaching analyst, none. And what is the word that we always hear when it comes to black coaches being hired? Well, they just don't have enough experience.
Experience.
All right, so I know they're going to slither on out every time this happens. Make sure you take this back to your little troll hole with you, that these are the examples that are blatant and obvious when we're talking about black coaches not getting hired. We got to have a rule in place just for interviews.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And if you like the guy, he's been in the building, and you can have a beer with him, have at it. What am I supposed to say to this? This is not a serious hire.
Yeah. I think two things can be true. Two things can be true because at first I saw the hire. I was happy for my friend, former colleague, Jeff Saturday. Right. Great human being by all accounts. Happy for him. But the second thing that can also be true is understanding what were Jeff Saturday's qualifications to be hired. Okay. It appears that the only qualification was to have played at a high level for the Colts organization. But guess who else has played at a high level for the Colts organization?
This one, right here.
The wide receiver coach, Reggie Wayne, who also has 6 Pro Bowls and All-Pro to his name, is likely a future Hall of Famer, but more importantly, is currently a coach on staff for the Colts who's wearing a headset every single game. Most importantly, was a volunteer coach in 2018 before becoming an official coach in 2022 and is actually on staff. So if the only qualification, which it appears to be, is to have been a former player at a high level for the Colts organization, then you have a player who is there at a high level that is currently a coach in Reggie Wayne. So that is where I get lost. Two things can be true. I'm happy for my guy, Jeff Saturday, but I am simultaneously curious of how in the world a decision like this is made. Shady, you have several thoughts on it. Unleash, please.
And that was a great example. Reggie Wayne should definitely be a candidate for this type of job. And Joe, you talked about even the black coaches, like, it hurt me because, well, first of all, let me give my respect and love to Jeff Saturday because I love to see, like, ex-players getting the opportunity, getting the shot. I think he's a smart guy, so I'm happy for him. But on the other side, what Joey talked about, it's kind of like, it's hurtful.
Why?
I'm going to tell you why. I was in Philadelphia, right, with a guy named Deuce Staley. He's a running back coach. I got to Philadelphia in 2009, right? Now, they didn't know if Jeff was a superstar running back. But anyway, 2009, he was like an intern, running back coach. Now, he had experience as a running back. He played there for a certain amount of years, and he went to Steelers. And he came back under Coach Andy Reid's coaching tree, which most of his ex-players do. Now, he helped me out. Like, there's never been a coach, especially as a running back coach, to help me out, to understand the offense. He moves up, he moves up, he moves up. I want to say 2000, I left in 15. In 2016, they moved him to the assistant head coach job, right? So I'm like, dang, he's getting a shot. I remember the players, myself, Darren Sproles, a lot of different players we were like having like support letters, you know what I'm saying, for all the players to support him because he was up for a head coaching job. Yep. And he didn't get it. And you know what they said to him? What they say? He wasn't experienced enough. I'm thinking like this guy has helped everybody out, played and did his dues as a player, and then moved up as a coach and got better and better and better, and he still didn't have enough experience. And then you see a hire like this where just Saturday he was on TV. He wasn't a coach. He wasn't like developing his coaching regimen or getting better in practice. No, he was on TV. So it really hurts me to see that. And then when you think about the NFL, me being as a player and now up here on television, there's like over 60% is black players. So we're good enough to play, but we're not good enough to be a head coach? That's crazy. And then was it 4 black coaches in the NFL? I'm sorry, black head coaches? That's ridiculous. So, like, part of me was, like, happy for just Saturday, but other part of me is like, dang, like, a guy like Reggie Wayne, like, he has the credentials. Why not him?
Check this out, too. And shouts out to Reggie Wayne, like one of my favorite players from that era. The Colts coaching staff is littered with guys like him. Cato June is on that coaching staff. Great linebacker for those Colts teams. Kevin Mawai, who a potential Pro Football Hall of Famer, like a many-time All-Pro offensive lineman, is on that staff. And you look at your resumes and you're like, these guys probably aren't qualified to be head coaches yet. Until something like this happens, you're like, they've been in the building. They've been with this team already. Like, they have a better finger on the pulse of what's happening. And, yeah, I'll join y'all in saying, like, I have no beef with Jeff Saturday. I've never met the man. Everything I've heard about him is wonderful. And to on his half of this, like, there's 32 of these jobs in the world. You get a phone call giving you an opportunity. If you're interested in doing it, you're going to say yes. I can't blame him for that, but I can hate the process that leads to these types of results. And it just reminds me of my own experience being around an NFL franchise. These are billion-dollar organizations, like Forbes, Fortune 500, billions and billions of dollars. And for the most part, they are run like mom and pop hardware stores where there is one person at the top of the chain who is white, who is a white man, right? We don't have any minority owners in the NFL as far as I'm aware.
Shad Khan.
Shad Khan. Excuse me. I'm sorry. So 30.
Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more likely than not an older white man who has the final say. And like it's a weird conversation to have because like I don't think of this as like maliciousness on the part of Jim Irsay. If anything, it's just not reading the room, like not taking things like this into consideration. And at the end of the day, you don't have to. But it's easy to see why people are so frustrated when the goalposts keep moving in situations like this.
Let me move this conversation forward if I can. Shady, Joy, let me talk directly to you. Dave, waiting to hear from you momentarily. If you want to see more black head coaches
yes, we do.
Getting in positions, in good positions, I'm reminded of the quote, though, Shady, that, like, not all money is good money. Okay. You know this, made a lot of it. Not all coaching positions are good positions. Okay. If you actually want to see a black head coach succeed, taking over the Colts head coaching position is not being set up for success. They do not have an offensive staff member that has called plays. You fired your offensive coordinator, Marcus Brady, 2 weeks ago. Okay. You have a quarterback who's making his 3rd start this coming week. Yeah. He has not thrown a touchdown pass yet. A 6th-rounder out of Texas. Your running back 1, Jonathan Taylor, has been injured. Your running back 2 currently plays for the Buffalo Bills, Naheem Hines. So this is not a position set up for success. So truth be told, after I do wrestle with the fact that Reggie Wayne is more equipped, or at least as qualified as Saturday, Joy, I'm also thinking to myself, in all honesty, he probably dodged a bullet because this is being led to slaughter. This Colts position is not a position where you will succeed, at least not in the final 7-8 weeks of the season.
Yeah, but when you're so rarely given the opportunity that you don't have the luxury of saying no to that.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, most coaching changes, you're going to a place that's not very good. That's why they're changing the coach. Unless somebody is retiring, right, you're not inheriting a good situation. Todd Bowles with Bruce Arians was one of those examples where Bruce stepped aside and made sure, you know, this is what happens when I leave. And Todd Bowles got another opportunity. But you're usually going into a place that's struggling, and when they don't give you the opportunities to even try, you can't say no to it. What I will say is, say Reggie got that job and failed in the same way that I think Jeff probably will, because he's unqualified, and this is not a good situation. It's held against black coaches more when they struggle than white coaches who get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. So that's also what needs to change. And to your point about all money isn't good money, I can't necessarily say this was a good choice for Jeff Saturday. If he fails terribly, which he probably will, like I said, this is not a good situation. Frank Reich is in my opinion, a good coach and it just got fired and is failing in this situation. What does that do, not just for the conversation around you, but now you are linked to the conversation that we're having.
Yeah.
So sometimes it would be better for him to turn this down, even as good as the opportunity that it is.
Yeah, not all money is good money, but Jeff Saturday is playing with house money because I don't even know that he wanted to be a coach, let alone a head coach. Shady, you were saying.
No, real quick, because, like, now you made a great point. But then again, like, on some situations, it's not that bad. Other situations are worse. I think this situation is bad. But I look at last year with David Culley, who's a coach that I played with in Philadelphia, right? When he got that job, we were happy for him, but we're like, man, the Texans, they don't have no good players.
Yeah, right.
You know, and Deshaun Watson's going up and down with his situation. So we didn't want him to get the job because of that, but we wanted him to get it because we want the best for him, a black coach. And then what happened? They fired him. Mm-hmm. So sometimes, like, when you have the opportunity, you got to take it because you might not get another one. Maybe Jeff Saturday, he might get another opportunity, right? Because he's, I think, a white coach different from a black coach, where David Culley, he can't get a job. And they're going to talk about his record, which who does well with the Texans? So, on your point, sometimes you just got to take the job.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, Jeff Saturday is taking the job for now, and we will see what happens next. I believe the Colts have the Raiders coming up this week, and so all eyes will be watching that organization.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.